This book is Pete the Cat Checks Out the Library. Pete's mom is taking him to the library for the first time. The librarian gives Pete his very own library card. Cool, says Pete. The librarian smiles. Time for the tour. The librarian takes Pete through the library. There is a big desk where people wait to check out books. Pete sees some of his friends reading at a long table. It's very peaceful and quiet. How relaxing. The librarian takes Pete to her favorite room. There are lots of Pete-sized chairs and tables and shelves. There are books of every shape, size, and color. What do I do now? Pete asks. Now you read a book, the librarian says. Which book should I read? Asks Pete. You can read any book you like, says the librarian. Pete looks around. There are so many books. Hey, look, there's a book about cats and bugs. Look, there's even a book about flowers. Pete picked up a book about airplanes and jets. He reads it and pretends he is a stunt pilot. He flies a super fast jet and does a loop-de-loop and spirals high in the sky. Look, he's upside down. Look what's written on his jet. Cat. Pete finds a book with dragons, wizards, and unicorns on the cover. Cool. He reads it and imagines that he's a powerful wizard, using magic spells and a special wand to defend his castle against a fire-breathing dragon. Yay! I hope he finds a way to defeat the dragon. Let's find out what happens next. Next, Pete opens a book about spiders and insects. He reads it and imagines that he's a scientist studying all types of critters in the wild. He has to be very still to study some critters and very fast to study others. Pete chooses a book with all sorts of scary monsters on the cover. It's a book about fairy tales. Pete reads it and pretends he's in a dark, spooky forest, trying to outsmart a big, bad wolf. Pete puts that book back on the shelf. It's too scary. Look, there's a big monster on this page. It is scary. Pete opens a book about pyramids in Egypt. Cool. He reads it and pretends that he's an explorer, riding a camel across the desert and climbing to the top of a giant pyramid. Wow. He should be very brave to climb a pyramid. Next, Pete picks up a book with all sorts of robots on the cover. He reads it and imagines that he's a robot at a robot dance party. Wow! His arms and legs make whizzy sounds when he moves. Bloop, bloop, bloop. When Robot Pete speaks, he says beep, bloop, beep, 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 beep. Next, Pete picks up a book about superheroes. He reads it and makes believe that he is a superhero. He flies around the city in the colorful cape, chasing bad guys and saving the day. Yay! Way to go, Super Pete! Then Pete spots a big book about the ocean and all its critters. He reads it and imagines that he's a scientist in a submarine deep in the Atlantic Ocean, looking for whales, squids, and sharks. You have to be very brave to search for sharks and squids and whales. There's so many wonderful books read at the library, Pete can be whatever he imagines with a book. Reading is super groovy. It says that in a book. That means reading is super groovy. The end. What is your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is where Pete turns into Super Pete and saves the day.